think we should get started. And yeah, also when I'm doing these type of like set reviews, I'm not really gonna take any questions while I do this. So if you have any questions you wonder about, feel free to ask them afterwards, just so you guys know. And if someone like shows up in the chat during the interview and they're asking a question and think I'm just ignoring them or whatever, being a douchebag, then yeah, just you guys can tell them that I take questions afterwards for people to wonder. Oh yeah, of course. Thank you for reminding me. All right, so we're gonna get started.
And this is potentially one of the biggest games of the weekend. Glutonny versus TSM Leffen. And we're on Kalos to start. Here comes the Nair string, double, triple.
Erbo, thank you for the prime, buddy. Welcome to the Brotherhood.
The Nair string is TSM Leffen.
Yeah, going for shield grab. This is something like a lot of like newer players don't think about. When you attack against someone and you do an aerial, in this game, of course, shield grabs are not as good. They made that worse intentionally. But it's like still landing behind your opponent, because a lot of characters, they don't have like, you know, nearly as many options if you land behind them instead of in front of them. So good by Leffen landing behind here, so he can't get grabbed. He still don't get anything out of it, but it was still like the first section here was still the right play. The thing is though, he does spot dodge, so this makes me think that Leffen might have thought that he was not gonna land behind, because if Leffen knew he was gonna land behind, it's no reason to spot dodge here. At least I don't think so. I'm not really sure how fast Wario's down air is. Maybe that's why he was doing this. But even then, I still feel like shield will have been better. But overall point, landing behind people when you do aerials can be a good way, baiting them to do a shield grab.
And we're on Kalos to start. Here comes the Nair strings, double, triple.
Yeah, that's a good combo starter for Wario. His Nair actually looks really good. It has like a double hit, connects into up air, can connect into a fart.
Here comes the Nair strings, double, triple up airs. Opening up this game on Kalos to start. Here comes the
that's strong.
Triple up airs.
Another thing that people might not think about is that some of these up airs, that's important to think about, is that when he does these up airs, he does a lot of short hop up airs. The thing is also, like, if he whiffs, if he misses an up air and he does a short hop, he will land on the ground sooner since he's closer to the ground, which means that he can, like, how do you say, he can sooner act and cover more distance. So if you can short hop and hit someone, then that's normally preferred over a full hop, unless that full hop maybe means you land on a platform and you can work from there. But we don't have any platforms close by here, so short up aerials, landing on the ground sooner, more advantage.
Double, triple up airs.
Up tilts from Wario being good anti-airs. If you try to fall down with an attack, not really sure if Squirtle has anything that can beat Wario's up tilt from above. I've never played this matchup, so some of these things will be like, you know, which just crossed my mind when I see the decision making. But yeah, partly nothing from Squirtle beats Wario's up tilt coming straight from above. So trying to put him in a bad position.
Nair strings, double, triple up airs. Opening up this game.
Yeah, that's also a good decision, throwing the motorcycle here. When he's having the motorcycle here and he's throwing it upwards, he basically forces Leffen to be stuck in a bad position. Leffen is still in the air, as we can see, and if he drifts more towards like center, he will get hit by the motorcycle. And if he doesn't drift forward, then he's still going to be stuck in a bad position.
48 on the poor Squirtle. 41% already, 48 on the poor Squirtle.
Yeah, here we can see again aerial landing behind shield.
Glutonny, a very tricky player. He's always going to...
Yeah, motorcycle, throwing it up, so Leffen can't like try to jump out of the corner.
Glutonny, a very tricky player. He's always going to be extending those. Wow, you using the bikes hitbox there a little bit. Squirtle, a big combo character.
And of course, not only...
Yeah, with Pokemon Trainer as well, I feel like Squirtle can be pretty good at like racking up damage. Quite a bit against most characters at least. Then Ivysaur to me feels more like the overall like To me, Ivysaur feels like the overall best Pokemon. Might not be in all matchups, but it can, you know, relatively okay rack up damage, pretty good at killing, good neutral game, Razor Leaf for zoning, fair and backer, have good reach, stuff like that. So I would expect to see this pretty commonly. Squirtle rack up a bit of damage, and then Ivysaur to come in. Sanio, thank you for the Prime, buddy. Welcome to Brotherhood. It's good. Yeah, these type of situations are so important in Smash. When you have someone above you to like not give them any breathing room. Leffen good covering with upper here. Being able to shark, so important. And this was one of Leffen's bigger strengths in melee, I would say. He was really good at sharking with uppers, like, you know, reading your drift, or sometimes position yourself that even if you do miss your up air, they have to take a bad spot. Like if Glutonny wanted to avoid this up air, he most likely would have had to drift towards the ledge, which means he would still have been in a bad position.
Which is so much better than neutral airs, the up airs. We see those moves coming out in full force, as well as dash attack and forward tilt dash attack right there.
That's been very much improved for sure.
Very fast kill move, and of course Wario having such great mobility and out of shield options, just a really versatile character in general.
Yeah, that was overcommitment.
Really versatile character in general.
Yeah. Let's back off a little bit. So Glutonny is quite a bit late here. He probably expected Leffen to like fall down or try to challenge him with an aerial, and he tried to sneak in a backer himself. But Leffen gets above him, and as you can see, the horizontal distance between Glutonny and Leffen here is very, very small. While Glutonny is drifting outwards and Leffen is drifting towards the stage. So Leffen can easily get above him, and now the situation is reversed. So when you edgeguard someone, you normally want to have quite a bit of horizontal distance between you and your opponent, so they can't easily, you know, sneak past you.
Keeping out of that range of...
Like for me, normally when I edgeguard people in most matchup, I want to be diagonally below them, so I can like quickly jump up and attack them. And if they try to fast fall and attack me, well, I'm most likely like on my way down, you know, because if you are in the air and you don't do anything, you will fall down. So I can often avoid their fast falling aerials, and I also have enough horizontal distance where they can't sneak past me above either. But yeah, bad spacing by Glutonny there.
Wanting to keep Leffen trapped. This is the good thing about Ivysaur, just has that get back game a little bit better. Out comes the Charizard. The big Dragon Boy's coming out and he gets that forward air.
That's good. Yeah, in this game I feel like going off stage is gonna be really, really important. Air dodge is not being nearly as strong. And I know Leffen also talks a lot about the edge guarding. Up smash out of shield.
Just rack up some percentage. He's staying in Charizard as well, even at the low percent. This is the thing. Charizard is just as good. You don't have
yeah, that's also a thing. We talked about like Squirtle can be good at racking up damage too, but the thing is Leffen has really high damage. So like Charizard can take some hits here and survive, unless they're like strong hits, of course. But Squirtle will die to like so many more moves. So that's also a thing as a Pokemon trainer. You have to like weigh the risk reward of what the character you do play. I'm not saying I'm an expert on Pokemon trainer, but he's trying to present you guys like different ideas for what Pokemon to use. Like you might have different reasonings for the Pokemon you play at any given time.
To rely on that little tiny turtle.
Wasn't ready for the cross up, but Glutonny not getting the kill just yet. 159% on Charizard. This will be an inception.
That was.
Glutonny not getting the kill just yet. 159% on Charizard. This will be an inception.
That was pretty bad by Glutonny. Maybe Glutonny didn't realize how long this move from Charizard is, so he got a bit afraid. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Because I assume Charizard don't have like an quick edge cancel from that. I will be surprised if that's the case.
The attempted dash grab, and this is all such good extra credit for Leffen. Wario is sitting at death percent at 87 versus his character.
Yeah. When the Flevets coming out, it's a high enough
percent at 87 versus his character.
Yeah.
Good extra credit for Leffen. Wario is sitting at death percent at 87 versus his character.
Yeah.
Good extra credit for Leffen. Wario is sitting at death percent at 80.
I actually wonder what might have happened here. It's hard to say. But something I'm wondering about is maybe Leffen intentionally placed the side B a bit higher. Because when this move happens, some people might tend to panic. And maybe that would force Glutonny to jump. And Leffen placing it a bit higher means that if Glutonny was jumping, he would actually jump straight into it. Instead of if Leffen placed it lower and Glutonny jumped, he would have avoided it. Maybe that was part of the decision making. I'm not sure, but you know, could have been.
These Flevets coming out is a high enough percentage. It's not going to make a difference right now.
202. He's just
yeah. Against this move, you want to shield it. If you shield this move, you have a free punish. So if you shield. If you shield this move by Charizard, you can actually just drop shield and then you do F smash or whatever. When I played the Chrom against Pokemon Trainer a little bit, I just drop shield and then like F smash, dash up F smash before he lands. So
now 202. He's just throwing this Flablets out. No respect to Glutonny whatsoever.
Yeah, no, Leffen went a bit overboard there for sure. But I can understand like the first 2 times at least, you know. He had so high damage. If he took that stock, it would have been so huge. And yes, we can see here, Glutonny at pretty high damage, Leffen going immediately for Ivysaur. Not any reason to like go Squirrel, because lack of kill power.
I believe it's frame 1 safety when you do down B to switch Pokemon.
Yes, intangible.
Okay, I haven't seen enough of this match yet to say, but something I personally can say for myself at least, and it might apply to Leffen, is that I feel like melee players traditional will probably need to adapt more to like a lot of air dodges. In melee, these type of air dodges doesn't really happen as much because it's just simply worse, you know. Like I'm sure Leffen got a lot of these up Bs on people as well, but that could be like a thing at least for you guys that's viewing to take into consideration. Sometimes waiting out the air dodge and then punish can be really good.
Intangible from frame 1 until frame 25.
A little bit bad spacing.
Although that does deteriorate if you use it repeatedly. Until
Yeah.
frame 25.
Yeah, Glutonny likes to use the motorcycle and throw upwards, so you can't go above him. He seems to really favor that option. That was pretty risky. That was pretty risky.
Yeah.
Although that does deteriorate if you use it
Like
repeatedly.
the switches between Pokemons for a Pokemon Trainer, it's really good obviously because you can break out of some stuff that might be true against other characters. Or if you know like a move might hit you super soon that will kill you, you switch to a heavier Pokemon and you will survive. But you also got to be careful, I feel, because yeah, I didn't see this set in advance, but I did see Leffen versus Marrow, and if I recall correctly, Leffen got away with switching Pokemon in a lot of bad situations, and Marrow did not punish it a single time. So I think against Pokemon Trainers, sometimes you need to go for the read that they will switch, and then you get like a strong move. Especially at percentages and situations when it might net you a kill. And I feel like, I'm not sure how strong Wario's fart is, but he did go for it right after that weak nair. I feel like if he was reading the switch here, he could have gone for the fart.
Oh, here we go. Going deep, goes for the waft, but
Good
misses
double
it.
dodge.
Could have been a big turnaround that Glutonny was after, that he is well known for as well. These dash
Yeah, that tilt from Charizard is actually good.
Good.
Wall teching.
Attack from Glutonny, and of course that chump coming out. In this game, it does heal you slightly if you get the extra bite.
The backer.
Incredible call out on that jump right there. Left him so ready, and now he has the lead in this game once again.
And it's a strong lead, and again, Squirtle is out, wants to get those big damage combos. 16% from the...
Oh.
Those big damage combos. 16% from the...
Alright, so against this move, like if you hit Squirtle, at least if he's on the ground, which Leffen would have been at like half a second from now, if you hit Squirtle in his shell, he will actually be stuck in a lot of lag. With Inkling, for example, you can do a backer on the shell, and then you can roller before Squirtle can do anything. I'm not really sure what Wario's best punish would be, but timing aerials against Squirtle's shell, especially if he's on the ground, is a good option.
I don't even know what that move's called, actually. Side B. From the... I don't even know what that move's called, actually. Side B.
Oh. Okay, that was a bad roll. Glutonny got away with it, but this roll, it's no reason to roll in here. No reason to roll in here.
I don't even know what that move's called, actually. Side B.
He got away with it, but it was a bad decision.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Alright, very nice use of the up B right
Ooh,
there.
that was a pretty good fair by Leffen.
Very nice use
He is pretty like in this situation though. Leffen is pretty restricted because now he doesn't have any jumps. So Leffen is falling down here, and the two things he can really do is throw out an attack or to air dodge. Something I like to do sometimes to bait out moves is jumping towards them, like a short hop for example, and then use fast fall. Make them whiff their move, and then I go into attack. That's just one of many baits you can do.
Very nice use of the up B right there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Like,
sense.
as we see, Glutonny gets punished by the fair, but imagine here if he, like, in advance, like, tried to short hop, fall down, because Leffen's fair is still, like, very far away from the ground. If he used fast fill instead, he could have punished. Yeah, it's just, yeah, one idea.
Vine Whip does give you a little bit burst of momentum as we saw forward air into the up B
Ooh,
right
that
there.
upper almost.
I enjoyed Leffen's patience.
Forward air into the up B right there.
I enjoyed...
Yeah, that's pretty quick that Ivysaur pulls to the ledge there. I guess in these scenarios, whenever possible, dropping with an aerial is a good thing. The only thing to keep in mind though is if you hold a ledge and you drop with an aerial and you miss, you won't have any invincibility. So it's still quite risky, which probably means that against Ivysaur it's better, if possible, to stand on stage and then drop with an aerial that covers a lot of distance and stays out for a long time.
Leffen's patience there, trying to find that up
good
air.
backer,
The back air will,
strong.
will clear out the stocks.
Alright,
One apiece.
79% on Gluto, but he has yet to use the waft. Leffen has to be incredibly careful. Just a couple of neutral exchanges coming up from Glutonny, and this may be a complete reversal. But
Yeah,
up airs
Leffen.
not allowing
Oh wait,
Glutonny to
why
land
did?
at all. May be a complete reversal. But these up airs not allowing Glutonny
Seems
to
like the
land
video
at
is
all.
lagging in that section.
And again, it's getting to that scary percentage where, you know, Ivysaur will be a kill threat as well. And maybe
The last race leaf
well,
timed it a little bit.
risky.
When
and try and
Glutonny was a
maybe
little bit
force
too
something
close.
because the waft isn't absolute max yet, and it's still at...
Yeah, right now, like, from Leffen you can kind of see he has a big lead, and all the damage he gets here is just, like, meaning more moves will kill for certain.
And try and maybe force something because the waft isn't absolute max yet, and it's still at 0%.
Also, the Razor Leaf can set up for kill moves.
That waft can kill at ludicrous percents if he gets the right hits.
There we say that, and a Nair is a good start for that one as well, but doesn't get it. That down air does trade. Up smash.
Yeah, good timing.
That
Good
down air
timing.
does trade.
Like, when people are on the ledge, it's gonna be so important for people to like be able to like quickly distinguish the different animations and like punish accordingly. That's a good up
The neutral
smash.
get wasn't enough.
That was a good up smash.
1 feet. It's just strength for this little.
Able to maintain the lead for the entirety of that game. Up air juggles coming out from Squirtle, and as a result, Leffen was able to maintain the lead for the entirety of that game. Up air
Ooh.
juggles, precisely, and as a result, Leffen was able to maintain the lead.
Yeah. Leffen taking advantage of Glutonny being above.
The entirety of that game. Up air juggles coming out from Squirtle. Now the down throw. Once again, 45% already. 54.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Now the down throw.
Yeah, general rule, being above your opponent, bad.
Entirety of that
Upper,
game.
upper,
Up air
upper.
juggles coming out from Squirtle. Now the down throw.
Good forward throw.
Again, 45% already.
Yeah.
54.
Very solid, very solid.
Once again, 45% already. 54. Squirtle. Now the down throw.
I might be wrong here, but I've noticed this a lot myself. In Melee, I feel like running off and doing this aerial often pays off. But when I've played against people in Ultimate, I feel like this option very rarely pays off. And I'm starting to think that people that haven't primarily played Melee, like, I think Melee players... how do I put this? I think melee players often, we might not value the ledge correctly in this game this early. At least I feel that about myself. I feel like a lot of times I try to cover ledge when in melee it would make sense. But in these games, I feel like that's not really going to happen for my opponent as much. They try to go above, for example, a lot. So I'm not sure if this is going to be something happening a lot in this set, but it's something that I have experienced playing against a lot of people.
Being a grab hitbox, it does.
Both players chomps away at the side B, no respect on that move whatsoever.
Being a grab hitbox, it does.
That nair is actually so good. Like that double hit on nair is crazy.
Even through withdrawal, which does only have armor.
It's actually, it has a unique sort of...
Oh yeah, that's how Leffen covered the higher angle we talked about earlier, instead of trying to go for ledge. It probably also was because he came from the motorbike, to be fair, but still.
Right. But it can be grabbed.
It can be grabbed, and if you end up jumping on top of Squirtle, he is vulnerable for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, that is a lot. I've seen that.
That was quick. That was quick.
Vulnerable for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, that is a lot. I've seen that.
Yeah, that was good by Leffen. So basically here, he throws out an up air in case Glutonny tries to challenge him. Glutonny backs off, but Leffen is really quick back to the ground and throwing out the tilt. That's good. That's good. Like, a lot of people really needs to learn how to protect, like, people coming at you from above, so they will go to a bad position. I know we've talked about it quite a bit, but it's really important in all Smash games, to be honest.
Leffen once again in complete control of the set so far. 152 to only 42%. Waft is not nearly charged enough. Leffen overextending a little bit too much with these dash attacks. I like the low attempts, but as a result, he loses a little bit too much with these dash attacks. I like the low attempts.
Yeah, that was bad up B. Bad up B.
Yeah, quick and swift punish coming out from Leffen. He knows exactly what he needed.
Ooh, that was unfortunate timing on that up tilt. Yeah, that was unfortunate for Glutonny. Yeah, Leffen seems to favor the side B a lot here. I would like to see Glutonny try to predict it in advance. Or maybe back off a tiny bit to make it easier to get a follow-up. Charizard doesn't have, like, much lag from that at all, to be honest. But see, there it is again. Now he got it though, so that's good. That's good. I'm happy. Whenever I point something out and I see the player do it shortly after, I'm like, that's good. Yeah, that seems to be, yeah, pretty standard from Squirrel's down throw. At least against this weight class, down throw, up air, fair. Sometimes more up airs. Oh yeah, this is the thing we talked about earlier as well. Leffen do favors switching in these type of situations instead of getting hit. So sometimes you need to expect it, it seems like. Because yeah, now Leffen got out of the situation. But the thing is also, like, to keep in mind, some people might be like, oh, but why is Leffen doing that so much then? The thing is, if he never gets punished for it, he has no reason to switch it up. If Glutonny started punishing Leffen for it, I'm 100% certain Leffen would start switching it up. But he doesn't have a reason to switch it up until his opponent does. And I feel like sometimes people give players too much credit. So, yeah, if it works, you know, keep doing it.
Comboing Wario with Squirtle can be a little bit tricky because Wario's weight
and there, yeah. Wario players, yeah, you really need to use this move a lot. Dude, that's, yeah. That was good. That was good. Yeah, this is the edge guard situation we talked a bit about earlier as well. Not hanging on the ledge, staying on stage, jumping is also fine. And then Ivysaur wants to grab the ledge, but Glutonny has a move out that stays out for a long time. And he gets the hit. I like that. That's one thing though, like, that frustrates me a little bit in this game. When you grab the ledge, you're stuck for so long. If they reduced that a tiny bit, I think the edgeguard game in this game would be even better. And if you also regained invincibility once more, then I think that could also be really good for seeing more offstage game.
Again, to keeping this edge guard going, but Leffen does eventually get. Oh wow, there's a. Gets the down air again to keeping this edge guard going, but Leffen does eventually get. Oh wow, there's a waft.
Up till into waft, seizing Leffen's stock right off the bat, and now what a huge turnaround and a big lead for Leffen right off the bat. And now,
yeah, this time not landing behind, and he gets grabbed.
And a big lead for Leffen right now. Glutonny, sorry, Glutonny.
Parries.
That's really strong.
Parries.
I actually wonder why he kept going for all these parries. He didn't get anything out of it. And eventually Leffen was just like, yeah, I'll just grab you. That kill confirm is actually like... He DI'd in-ish, at least? That's strong. That's good.
Only 6%. That wasn't enough of a lead for Glutonny to really feel comfortable here. Yeah. Only 6%. That wasn't enough of a lead for Glutonny to really feel comfortable here. Already, only 6%.
Yeah, this is, again, another time Leffen being very good with switching Pokemon. This time, though, he was not getting comboed himself. He was just, like, doing it to dodge a move, and then during the, you know, the end lag of that move, getting in. That was good. I really like that. Like the switch there.
Here come the massive Squirtle combos, using the platform to really supplement the length of that.
I almost thought that he was going to try to go for the ladder, continued up airs into the up B. That is something that Squirtle is capable of doing, but instead opting for the forward airs.
I like the that Glutonny never gets afraid. He wants to get up into everyone's face. He needs to kind of get there, break down this length and this range that Ivysaur's face. He needs to kind of get there, break down this length and this range that Ivysaur is going to be trying to abuse. It's like forward air coming this length and this range that Ivysaur is going to be
this
trying
backer a little bit too close. Not, you know, you can see the spacing is not on point here. Getting punished for it. Covering the roll away. This time he waited out the Pokemon switch. That's good. Instead of attacking right away, he was waiting it out. Didn't look like the timing was super on point, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Glutonny didn't have too much experience in this matchup. It's so many matchups, so, you know, even the matchups people have a lot of experience in is probably still very little if you think about it. So, but I like the idea. He tried to do the right thing, and he got you know, punished for it. So it's good. That's pretty smart by Glutonny. He does air dodge away here, not trying to challenge Leffen from above. Leffen tries to cover, you know, more towards the ledge, thinking that Glutonny is gonna like try to pull away as much as possible, but then Glutonny actually drifts back in, and now he has the advantage. That's a good mix-up. Sometimes when you make it look like you're gonna like move away from your opponent and then moving towards them, can really change things.
About Charizard, his ability to shark underneath you, that incredible mobility as well as those anti-air hitboxes expends the waft. That is huge.
Back throw. Here comes the edge guard attempt. The back airs don't land. Gets the upbeat just to knock away Leffen. Ooh, wow, runs back to try and get a hit, but the chomp is there to catch.
I really like Leffen's idea for that edge guard right there. He used the bike, the extra hit lag.
Oh my god.
I really like Leffen's idea for that edge guard right there. He used the
that up air was really good.
Very, very nice trading.
Yeah,
one of the hits of the
that was a really good up air.
The game 2-0 to Leffen.
And you can see he pumps his fist. He knows that that was a good win for him. So that just think to be clean 3-0, or is this the beginning of the comeback? Can I only find out?
Yeah.
Of the comeback.
Again.
Can I only find out?
Up air, the switch, missing the up air. Needs to call it out more. Needs to call it out more.
One of the strongest tools of the trainer as a whole. That ability, the unique ability and disadvantage, just gives him that extra edge.
Ooh, good up B.
Catching out the jump.
Ooh, Leffen got a little bit too much to the left here.
Catching out the jump, getting really high up and using that vine whip.
Throwing him off stage. Ooh.
Unable to get the down air. That hitbox is gigantic, but again, these up airs doing so much work for Leffen, and they tack on so much damage.
Staying safe in shield, gets that back air. Again, these nairs coming out, but Glutonny cannot just extend it as he's so used to doing. He's putting so much work. His wall coming out, gets the grab as Glutonny goes over. Very nice. And out comes a Charizard. Don't sleep on your dragon, friends.
Patiently just sharking Glutonny. 70% lead for Leffen. Goes for the flare blitz.
Oh yeah. Wait.
70% lead for Leffen. Goes for the flare.
Yeah, he actually might have gotten that if it wasn't for the. Did Leffen know that the motorcycle was gonna intercept? Because if that didn't intercept, maybe Glutonny is about to jump at the same time, so he still might not have gotten hit. But yeah, that was crucial. That was crucial.
There was no. Was that techable? A big F smash there. Didn't get it. There was no. Was that techable? No.
Yeah, that was also like one of. I know I'm pointing out some of Leffen's strengths here, but I know him much more of a player than Glutonny because we played tons and tons of sets over the years. But Leffen is really good in this process when he has invincibility to come back and kill you before his invincibility ends. Of course, playing faster characters is good in this scenario. Playing a smaller stages can increase the chance, but Leffen is really good at finding these kills with his invincibility. Just wanted to point that out. Oh, another. This is the second time. Glutonny trying to use his invincibility, uses a move, Leffen swaps the Pokemon, and he gets a punish.
Here we come. Squirtle combos. Not ready to get sent the other way. Good patient play coming out from Leffen, just trying to react to whatever Glutonny has to do.
Getting that down air, just a bounce. Glutonny off the floor. He's always keeping his distance. He's always forcing Glutonny to be the aggressor, and just punishing appropriately the entire time. Out comes the bike. Double hit from that.
I also feel like this is gonna be interesting. The more this game moves on, like parries. Like, a lot of moves, if you parry them, you get, like, stronger punishes. It's going to be interesting to see how that meta evolves over time. It just crossed my mind seeing, like, some of these moves. Damn, that's so strong. That's so strong.
Wario having that ridiculously explosive kill power from that waft. Once again, excellent work spacing with the F-tilts.
Swap? Yeah. I even said it in advance now. Swap?
But this is going to be a big chunk of damage.
But using the Pokemon Switch just to...
That's probably the one thing costing Glutonny the most overall. It is a unique thing to Pokemon Trainer. But I wonder... I don't know the frame data for the swaps, but I wonder, like, in some situations, it's probably going to be possible to do a move, and if they don't swap, you hit, and even if they do swap, you can still, like, cover both timings. It's probably going to be some scenarios where that's possible, so that's going to be important to lab against Pokemon Trainer. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you do a move really quickly, and they don't swap, you hit, and if they do switch, maybe you have enough time to still punish. That would still need to be labbed, but that's just something that crossed my mind.
Get out of dodge. Using the
there we saw using an aerial against Squirtle side B. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten something. As I said, with Inkling you can do backer against the Squirtle's side B and get roller. At least when I played in matches, and I'm pretty sure it was true. Also, it probably depends on how strong the move is you use against Squirtle side B, at least maybe.
30%, the big dragon's coming out. Okay, these F tilts, yeah, nice down tilt into F air.
Oh, he's got low recovery.
Yeah, that was good. Covering a lot of options there with the bite.
Yeah, that catches both jump and you get up off the ledge.
Covering two options with One move, clean. Yep, again.
Yeah, Leffen
Covering 2 options with
a lot against Glutonny favors to stand here with shield and up smash.
clean. Yep, again, these neutral get-ups are really getting...
He's getting a lot of mileage out of that.
Leffen just every time with that up smash.
Right now, shield
Yeah, probably gonna see a swap very, very soon now.
His back air is catching Glutonny from his jump. There's the back air.
Is this pretty high damage for
Maybe the
Squirtle?
first victory that he's had in this
It's actually
season.
really
Back
high
throw.
damage for
Can he get
Squirtle.
the edge guard now? Withdraw comes out, that's the fair.
Yes, that withdraw is...
Okay, no, Leffen is rocking it with
There we
Squirtle.
go once again. Switches to Ivysaur.
Tries to find that down air sweet spot, but doesn't get it. And
That was
we
close.
now have the dragon back on stage. Leffen is not done yet. There is the
Ooh.
trade. I think it was a forward tilt.
Yep, the big old slap coming out from Wario. Brand new move in this game, very, very potent. But finally, Glutonny taking his first game in this set, 2-1 so far to Leffen.
Work for a first pick again.
Into this game,
Leffen in tournament.
indeed I was, but that's not important for the time being. Going into this game 4, we have Glutonny versus Leffen, this time on FD.
Yeah. FD, as you say, opening strong for Glutonny. Getting the first hit also. But you know what Squirtle can do at these low percents.
Oh, he can do a lot, and it's already begun.
Yeah, good. Just couldn't get,
Do a lot, and it's already begun.
yeah, good. Just couldn't get that third hit out. It's not over yet.
Equalizing it immediately, only a 2% lead, but it could really swing either way.
Oh yeah,
Re-grab
that's pretty
the
slow.
mic there allowed Squirtle just to get in and get that hit. Double down tilt. And it's time for the double down tilt. Like they're allowed.
Yeah, in these type of situations, it's very important to know if your opponent can throw out a move here or not. So we see Glutonny going for 2 down tilts here, and he tries to go for most likely a grab right after. It's very important to know, like, is that a true sequence or not? If you know it's a true sequence, of course, go for it. But if it's not, it's very likely your opponent is going to throw something out very quickly. A spot dodge, a quick jab that might send them away, something like that. And if so, what I'm trying to say here is that after these 2 jabs, if Leffen has enough time to throw something out, he most likely will. And then you should not try to challenge it in most situations. Of course, you can't have rules like 100% of the time do this, 100% of the time do this. But generally speaking.
Double down tilt. And it's time for the
Down throw
saw.
into the upbeat. There we go. Good DI coming out from Glutonny. And of course, the heavy weight of Wario allowing him to live those extra percent. But the up air, so strong.
Again, just kind of anticipating his opponent's movement over the top. getting
Another
that up air,
swap resulting in
securing
good damage
the
for
first stock.
Leffen. That was a bad up B. That was a bad up B.
Very nice forward smash coming out from Squirtle. Didn't have the water gun charged quite enough. If he had it a little bit more charged, that would have been...
Yo, Humpe, thank you for 21 months, buddy. Love you too, dude. And yeah, I'm sad about it, dude. Hope to see you soon.
The end of Glutonny stop. Didn't have the water gun charged quite enough. If he had it a little bit more smash coming out from Squirtle.
And Swinganito, thank you for the Prime, buddy. Welcome to the Brotherhood. And Alter, thank you for the Prime. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Actually, that switch was one of the cooler ones so far. So Leffen gets Glutonny in a position off stage. Big boy, thank you for the Prime. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Yeah, in this position, he gets Glutonny off stage in a position where he's most likely gonna jump. As we talked, people don't fall to edge as often, it seems like. So Leffen instead decides to switch to Ivysaur and applies both pressure and then a strong hit, sending him off stage again. I like that switch. That was pretty cool. Getting another kill as well. I wonder what the percentage threshold for when that's true is.
Once more is such a powerful lead for Leffen at the moment. Still on his first stock and looking very... Such a powerful lead for Leffen at the moment. Still on his first stock and looking...
Ooh, I like that up tilt. Ivysaur is actually like a really good character, I think. I like that character.
take this set so far.
Sticking with that Ivysaur as well. He knows his defense is good enough, and that runaway game that he's playing, just catching Glutonny out completely, is forcing Glutonny to be the aggressor every time. There's the waft game that he's playing, just catching Glutonny out completely. It's forcing Glutonny to be the aggressor every time. There's the waft.
Beautiful catch on the rock.
Yeah, that was good. Reacting to the roll, most likely. Maybe he predicted it, but yeah, he ran pretty early though, so yeah, I don't know.
Has to expend it. He just needs to get rid of that stock. Try and find his way back into this game.
Cowboy, thank you for the prime, buddy. Welcome to the Brotherhood.
Try and find his way back into this game.
Wario, of course, among all the characters, he definitely has a strong comeback factor, and Glutonny has been so good at exploiting that all the way from the Brawl days. Strong comeback factor, and Glutonny has been so good at exploiting that all the way. Definitely has a strong comeback factor.
That's a very common thing you see in Melee, at least. I'm not quite as sure about Brawl and Smash 4. Then air dodges are probably more common. But these type of scenarios, when someone is trying to hit you and then you jump instead, that's super common in Melee. Like Sheik does a dash attack and they want to fair, but you can jump out. And then as Sheik, you want to jump even higher to cover their jump with fair, for example. So that's very good. When people, you can't get a true combo with an aerial against them, common to jump in Melee at least. I could see that's happening in this game relatively often too. So that could be something to look out for. If you know your aerial is not going to connect for sure, I'm going to take it back a little bit again so you guys can see. Here, instead of trying to go for where they are, you predict where they are going to go. So Leffen predicts Glutonny is going to jump and he covers high. That's good. Ooh.
Safe bite comes out the Nair doesn't get the double hit. Safe bite comes out the Nair doesn't get the double hit.
That actually might have been what I talked about earlier. Here in this scenario, he goes for an up air here, and Leffen is swapping, right? And it barely, and then he gets a punish still. Let me go back and look again. Okay, it looked like the upper was gonna miss. So it's not quite what I was talking about, but the concept is similar. Throwing out the move and punishing the swap, you have enough time anyway. So sometimes maybe if you do an aerial, land right after, you can punish the swap too. Those timings are gonna be tricky to work out, but sometimes they should be possible. So you can punish both non-swap and swap.
There's a double hit, gets the bike as well, nice big hits, catches the flare blitz. Draw down tilt, there's the slap too. Good string from Glutonny. This is what he needs to get back into this game.
Yes, suddenly this is a much closer game. The fly coming out from Leffen.
What is with this VOD?
Game. Yes, suddenly this
is
a much
maybe,
closer
yeah.
game. The fly coming out from Leffen. The LP is not strong enough. Intimidating Glutonny away from the ledge with these back airs. The back air trade, and now
yeah, that back air is very strong from Wario.
This is looking like Glutonny can make this comeback. He has to be charging gradually.
He has to be wary of the Ivysaur. The grab at this percent, maybe. I'm not sure if Wario can get away. Dashes in. It stays safe. There's a switch.
Ooh.
Maybe. I'm not sure if Wario
yep,
can get away.
that's what you need.
It stays safe.
Punishing the swap. That's strong punish as well. Did you guys see that? He went from like 6% to 69 on one correct read on the swap. And now, like right now, it's anyone's game.
Suddenly, this he doesn't get a flare blade. And suddenly, this stop.
He goes deep.
He goes.
That's unfortunate. Charizard can grab the ledge, right, from the side B if you're spaced properly. Like, not only height, but like distance-wise too, right? I wonder if that could have been a good... Actually, Glutonny probably could have gone above and down air. But I feel like in this situation, a lot of people would probably not try to dare challenge the side B. A lot of people, when it's like a last hit scenario, they get a little bit afraid, you know. They might not go for what's the most optimal or whatever.
And suddenly this stop. He goes deep. He goes too low.
But yeah, that was pretty crazy, that comeback.
Glutonny needs a moment. Leffen was seeing winners finals.
Winning semis.
So in the semis, he was seeing it. It was at the tip of his fingers, and Glutonny rocked the
Back around. He's put no variance, unfortunately, but how will Leffen fare?
Yeah, Wario side B beats Squirtle side B. Get a little bit of damage, nothing big. Oh yeah, down throw, downer seems to be solid at like the very low damages as well.
Beautiful catch on that jump, and a good 44% coming out from Squirtle.
The swap.
Yeah, just the wherewithal just to know I need. Yeah, good. Yeah, just the wherewithal just to know.
Oh, that was the thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, just the wherewithal just.
All right, it's.
Yeah, good. Yeah, just the.
Over here, so Leffen hits the backer. He notices that Glutonny is going to be able to jump before he can connect a new move. So he goes extra high and covers with fair. Same thing as we talked about earlier. It's like I like to point out what we have talked about already and show a new example of showing like that is actually important.
Here come the edge guards. We know Glutonny.
Oh, that's also a thing we talked about. That's risky. Look here, like Glutonny is having the ledge. He tries to punish Ivysaur. Because he's doing the tether, right? But he's missing, and now he goes to the ledge, and he has no invincibility. This could have meant death, and that's why I said earlier. I know they're not gonna change it, but it would be nice to see having invincibility back when you re-grab the ledge one time, because it would encourage offstage game more. Glutonny does go off stage a lot, don't get me wrong, and I think he's doing a pretty good job in that regard. But what I'm saying is that if you hold the ledge already and then go off stage, re-grabbing the ledge will mean death. Like, it didn't do this time, but in the future it will in a lot of scenarios. Because if you miss this move, it's like, well, that could have been death. So it's like, I feel like that will discourage players from going off stage, because missing once, if you already hold the ledge, you have burnt your invincibility. You will not have invincibility again. That's why I also think like staying on stage and then like run off or jump off. So if you miss, you have invincibility once you grab the ledge again.
Is that down there? Oh, he was a little bit too slow. That was a re-grab, of course, from Glutonny, but Leffen not on the mark just yet. Reading that roll. Re-grab, of course, from Glutonny, but Leffen not on the mark just yet. Reading that roll, gets of course from Glutonny, but Leffen not on the mark just yet. Reading that re-grab, of course, from Glutonny, but Leffen not on the mark just yet. Reading that roll,
that's a pretty interesting option. Falling with down here, probably trying to cover regular stand-up, maybe jumping from ledge, but he's also drifting back, so in case Leffen rolls, he was in position to punish with up tilt. So that's pretty good.
And the fierce slap coming out from Glutonny.
And you can see just
yeah, that's the difference. This time he was staying on stage, trying to edge guard. He does whiff, but at least he gets invincibility this time.
Glutonny has woken up.
Yeah, after that game, he's really carrying.
Okay, so basically what I meant with like not invincibility when you re-grab the ledge. Of course, every change you make in a game will affect some characters more than others, even if you like do not change like a direct move. But like if you change invincibility once you come back, if you make it longer, of course it will make faster characters benefit more from it, and so on. Having like invincibility change on the ledge, it will affect characters differently. My point is still that I think having invincibility gained, like regained again once if you re-grab it, I think it will encourage more offstage play, which I personally think is a fun thing, and I think it's a fun thing to do in-game, and I think it's a fun thing to watch. That's my personal opinion. I'm not saying that, oh, this is objectively a good thing, but for me personally, I think that would be a good change to encourage more offstage game. Because what Glutonny did earlier, I think that type of play we will almost never see unless you're at a very high damage, because the risk reward is simply not worth it.
Bring that momentum forward, and he's just playing this really, really well so far. That said, though, Leffen still putting up a fantastic fight into the up air really, really well so far. That said, though, Leffen still putting up a fantastic fight, playing this really, really well so far. I said though, Leffen still putting up a fantastic fight.
Yeah, that was very good by Leffen. He was like drifting out, avoiding the backer, keeping a similar height to Glutonny, slightly below. He will throw out the aerial, or throw out the Razor Leaf. Glutonny will fall into it, and then Leffen ready with a kill. That's good.
More than enough to take that first stock, and now Leffen once again in the lead.
I disagree myself. I can understand what you mean. Yeah, no, you can feel free to disagree, but I'm just saying that by keeping it this way, it will discourage going off stage as much. And if you want to discourage off stage play more, then that's, you know, you're right to have that opinion. I just personally disagree a lot. I think that would be a good change to give him his ability back at least once. But yeah. If people want to discourage offstage play, then yeah, that's, you know, they have the right to that opinion.
Nice parry, but
of course couldn't do it versus the multi-hits.
Oh, that was a good down air. Good down air.
Of course couldn't do it versus the multi-hits. That should be a stock for down air. Enough even versus the big heavy Charizard.
See how deep Leffen's going, trying to find this movement from Wario, and it's just exploit all these options that Glutonny's throwing out.
Triple forward air. And now back into the Ivysaur. What a catch! But the waft. Triple forward air.
Yeah, this move is actually really good with Ivysaur by the ledge. It actually reaches quite a lot below the ledge. So this is a very good move if you play Ivysaur to go for if you're trying to up E to the ledge.
Now back into the Ivysaur. What a catch! But the
He did survive thanks to the fart, but yeah, that was still, it was a really good decision by Leffen, and then it was a good decision by Glutonny to survive.
Big part of this game. That it does take a while to charge, and he expended, I think, a good quarter of it. Quarter of it.
One thing I would like to see a little bit more from Leffen that we haven't seen is more tomahawk grabs, actually, because Leffen has been good at getting kills from his grabs, especially with Ivysaur, of course. And I feel like Glutonny has been doing a lot of running shield, and if Leffen is not like spaced in a good way, Glutonny either goes for like a short hop nair or a grab this time, or not nair, fair, I mean. So I would like to see, instead of Leffen throwing out fair and Razor Leaf, maybe backers as well, is to sometimes fall down and do a grab instead. I think that would catch Glutonny off guard.
beautiful chases coming out from Glutonny with that.
Ooh, that was an... That seems to be one of Glutonny's weaker points. Like, I feel like he distanced himself horizontally way too close often, making it like hard for him to edgeguard Leffen. Good bait, good bait. I'm not sure if that was like the best punish he could have gotten, but I don't know. Okay, of course it's not the best punish he could have gotten, but I wonder what his idea was. But the decision making of like baiting out the swap was good.
Such an even game from these.
Yup.
Once again, such an even game from. Once again.
Yeah, Leffen already like on his way up, and now, yeah, Leffen has a good position. Not good enough, but like it was still, you know, much better than he had. That was a risky up B.
Final stock for Leffen on his winner's side. He is going to need to make it count for now.
The TSM and Glutonny chants erupt in the crowd.
Let's get back to the Charizard.
Oh my god, Leffen is getting so like up smash every time. Yeah, no, Leffen goes for this like every time, but as I said, like you can't blame someone for going for something, like, or not every time, but he's going for it a lot, but he gets a kill so often from it. So it's like, yeah, makes sense.
They've gone the distance, just as we knew they would.
Ooh, the
They've gone the
nair.
distance, just as we knew they would.
Up air, no, doesn't get the next one. Up air, no, doesn't get the next one.
I actually think Glutonny had that. Wait, yeah, he gets one up air, and then here, he whiffs the up air, but he full hops. I think if he used it up tilt, maybe. It's not the fastest move, but I think up tilt probably would have caught him here. Maybe a short up air, maybe an air. Yeah. I actually got interested in this, like, covering all options on the swap.
Try, yeah, reads the movement of the roll on, doesn't get the actual connection. Where with the
I respect the attempt there. Salome, thank you for the donation. $2.69.
What is your hair routine? Hairstyling tutorial?
No hairstyle tutorials. Oh, thank you so much, buddy.
Glutonny is going so
Oh, all these backers. Oh, that was really good. I like that play from Leffen. He goes through the backers. He noticed now Glutonny can't come, like, get out of this. Like, Leffen doesn't have a guaranteed move any longer, and he waits for the air dodge and gets the grab. Really, really good play. Really good play. Makis, thank you for 215 bits. Yeah, that was, yeah. This is textbook good play. Getting the punish as far as you can, guaranteed, and then air dodge, really, really common. Leffen waiting it out perfectly, getting the grab. Yeah, I like that play. That was good. That was good.
Not death percent just yet. Another one might do a beautiful catch with that neutral air. This is so close between both of them.
What? The triple?
Charge is online. Even Charizard will not survive this.
Can he get it?
Oh my goodness.
Glutonny gets a bite.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Glutonny, he likes throwing it upwards. He likes throwing it upwards, so you can't go above him.
Can he get it?
That was probably one of Glutonny's better areas of, like, you know, keeping an advantage. To use this, so Leffen can't go above him. I like his usage of the motorcycle. No! Wasn't that what happened, like, last game as well? The side B, and then bounce out? Oh, no. That's an unfortunate ending. Because Leffen also gets the directional air dodge. In this game, if you do a neutral air dodge, like you air dodge not holding the control stick left or right or whatever, you have way less lag than if you do it to the side. If you do it to the side, you're stuck in so much lag. Leffen is a little bit greedy with these side Bs though. And I feel like that's like one of the main things that costed him. Is greediness overall. Like in game 4, he was up 3 stocks to 1. There's like... Sometimes when you have like a really big lead, it's very important to like not try to think about it too much. Like I'm not trying to throw like, you know, or fire shots at Leffen. I have myself dropped big leads over the years. I'm just saying from a competitive standpoint, I feel like normally, even if you have a big lead, you don't want to think about it too much. Like I've done that mistake myself, like, oh, one more hit, one more stock or whatever. So he's trying to treat it like the same is what you want to do. Oh, actually, Leffen, he probably tried to grab the ledge actually with the air dodge. That's actually probably what he tried to do. But I'm not, yeah, it's probably what he tried to do. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy.